Hey guys, Rachel from Pampered Chef here, and today in our blender cooking class, I wanted to teach you how to make your homemade almond butter with the Deluxe cooking blender. Now, you guys, this sounds a little intimidating, and before I had made it myself, I always thought, wow, that must be really tricky and it's a hard thing to make. Um, is that really something that I can make at home? And let me tell you, yes, it is. And here's why you may want to try making almond butter or peanut butter or cashew butter or any of the butters yourself. Number one, it's going to taste better. It's going to be fresher, um, and it's going to not have, if you're ever concerned about any of the processing plants and what may be crawling around and falling into your almond butter, you know what's going into it here. Number two, and this is my biggest reason, is if you are trying to cut out sugars or processed preservatives or any of those kind of things out of your diet, then you know that there is no additional sugar or additives in your almond butter when you make it at home. So what I'm going to do, and you guys, you're not even going to believe how easy this is, and you can totally do it yourself, is 3 cups of almonds, roasted, unsalted. If you do use salted, then you don't need to add salt to it. I do like kind of a blend to get a little bit richer flavor with the saltiness, but if you don't have salted, it's perfect. You can add a little bit of salt in there. So my big bag of Costco almonds. And then you're going to add a little bit of oil, so 3 tablespoons. And depending on which recipe you choose, the peanut butter does not take additional oil, I don't believe. And so if you have the blender, pull out your Deluxe Cooking Blender Cooking Guide, and this is on page 15 under the grind setting instructions. So I'm going to do 3 tablespoons of oil, just a vegetable oil. You could use avocado oil, anything that's not going to be like a super strong flavor, canola oil, whatever you like. And then I like to add a little bit of cinnamon or cinnamon plus. I probably shouldn't take the lid off. You never know how much it's going to come out. And that just adds a little bit of, it tastes sweet. You could add in honey. You could add in anything you like. You know how they have the chocolate peanut butter? You could add in some chocolate or Nutella. You can even make your own Nutella, you guys. Save money. So besides better flavor, not having little critters crawling around in it, not having sugar or additives, you guys, you can customize it to however you like it. Like I mentioned, adding cinnamon, adding honey, adding chocolate, all to your perfect preference and to make it delicious. So you also can add salt, but my almonds were pre-salted, so I'm not adding the salt. You can also do it with raw nuts. You can just roast them a little bit so that they are slightly toasted, and that enhances the flavor and just makes it so much better. So then what we're going to do, so we've got 3 cups of nuts in here, 3 tablespoons of oil, salt if your nuts aren't salted, and then I'm going to turn it to the grind setting. So that's over here in the blue unheated section. And it presets to 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So it is a little bit loud. It is a blender, so I'm not going to talk while it's blending, but what it does is it'll start grinding a little bit slowly, and then it'll add speed and change how fast it's grinding. When it starts to climb up the sides, I'm going to use the tamper to make sure that it knocks down and gets all up or all on the blades. So you'll see when it first starts, it just kind of starts chopping it up, and then it'll start kind of sticking to the side and then start climbing up. And you want to make sure that there's still contact over the blades while you're doing this. I'm gonna quickly breeze over the instructions just to make sure that I don't forget anything. All right, and here we go. Are you ready? You guys are gonna be so amazed. It's so easy, seriously. Give it a little love. Here we go. Here we go. All right, and I did stop it a little bit early. You can adjust the smoothness if you like it a little bit chunky or a little crunchy. You can stop it early. If you like it super blended and smooth, you can keep it running the whole time. And when you're done, it will be warm. Just the friction of the blades going through the nuts does heat it up a little bit. It's not hot, but if you don't like warm nut butter, then you can. Um, so what I like, this is just me, my personal preference. I love dipping apples. So you can use it for sandwiches, peanut butter, almond butter and jelly, almond butter and honey. You can use it for dipping apples. You do want to store it in the refrigerator after you've made it because like I mentioned, there's no additives. So you don't have those preservatives keeping it lasting longer than what you would get off the shelf. And also, if you've ever had the natural peanut butter or natural almond butter, you know that sometimes it does separate. So you may get a little bit of the natural oil separating out from the rest of it, and that's fine. Just give it a little stir before you use it, and it'll be just fine. So there you have it. Homemade almond butter in what was that, like 10 minutes? 2 minutes of grinding and the rest of just talking. So if you're doing it yourself and you're not doing a video, then you can get it done so much faster. But anyways, if you have a blender, I hope you'll give it a try. Share with me and let me know that you've done it. If you don't have a blender, let's get one for you. So anyways, so usually I like to give you a little bit of homework. And so your homework last week was to make an alternative milk. I made horchata, and I need to check back and see if you guys have tried some homemade milk, alternative milk with your blender. This week, your homework is to try something with the grind setting. You can make your own almond butter, cashew butter, peanut butter, sunflower seed butter, or super seed butter. Those are recipes that are included in your cooking guide. You can also use the grind feature to grind coffee beans. I've done that. You can make your own flour. You can grind up rice or wheat or oats, or even popcorn. I've heard people that make popcorn flour or corn flour, kind of like a cornmeal, and they use that to make cornbread or muffins or things like that. So you can grind up popcorn, and so many other things. You guys, give it a try. Put this little baby to work. He's too expensive to just sit on the counter and sit in the cabinet. It wants to be used. It wants to be used, and you want to get the benefits of it. If you bought it and you paid for it, get to using it, and you'll love it even more. So thanks for checking in. If you watch this, please post replay in the comments so that I know, and have a great day and happy blending.